I took my daughter to college orientation and realized it was nothing like mine. She had people waving us in, handing out cold drinks. There was music playing. It was like the pearly gates of higher education that just swung open. She already knew everything. Her schedule, dorm room, and parking, all before I left. There's a long list of clubs that she could join, and some guy handed me a Celsius, and I was like, I could do this a lot better the second time around. My experience, slightly different. I was the first person in my family to go to college. My dad was military, my brother went military, so my dad's career counseling was basically two options, military or college. And that was the whole session. I wanted to wrestle. That's all I knew. So with the last minute, I picked a school where I could. No plan, no GPS, no apps, just a paper map and my dad's Dodge Caravan with the fake wood paneling. And we drove 3 hours through western Kansas, pulled onto campus, and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. They got buildings and sidewalks, busy, college-looking things. Western Kansas, kind of the middle of nowhere. But then we kept driving through campus and it got worse. We drove so far I started wondering if we'd left the school. Where are we going? So then we stopped at this building that looked less like a dorm and more like this medical facility. The caravan door slid open and I stepped out holding my 2 cardboard boxes, and that's what I had. We walked in and there was construction tape everywhere. Half the dorm was closed, lights were flickering, dust was on everything, and here's the thing, it was bad. It wasn't bad by today's standards, it was bad by 90s standards. And then I saw my first human. I genuinely couldn't tell if this was some 8th year senior, the maintenance guy, or some homeless man setting up in my dorm. I looked at my dad and my eyes said, I can't do it. And he gave me that look. His eyes said, what do you want me to do about it? Translation, you're just gonna have to figure it out. And he left, and I ran. I ran back to the center of campus and I found a co-ed dorm, planted myself into the common area all day, schmoozed with RAs and TAs, anybody that would listen. And by nightfall, someone hadn't shown up and had a room. So where she got the refreshments and the soundtrack, I got a couple of cardboard boxes, a condemned dorm, and the dad in his Dodge Caravan who believed I could figure it out. And you know what I did? I figured it out. And I think that's the part I keep coming back to. Every generation thinks that the next one has it easier. And in a lot of ways, maybe they do. My daughter has the apps, the schedules, the welcome committees, and people helping guide that transition before she's even taken a class. In some ways, her path is much smoother than mine ever was. But in other ways, it isn't. Their world never really turns off. There's more pressure, more comparison, more noise, and everybody seems to be watching everything. And that comes with its own weight. So when my dad left, I was on my own. And at that same time, it was kind of scary, but looking back, there's something very clean about it, something clarifying. It forced independence. It forced me to think, and nobody was coming to fix it for me. I had a paper map, a suspicious dorm room, and my dad saying, you'll figure it out. And so I did. But our kids are growing up in a different world, so it makes sense that they need different tools. I needed independence because my world demanded it. They need independence too, but they also need judgment, resilience, and discipline, and the ability to tune out that noise. So yes, parenting has to change because the world has changed. The maps change, the apps change, the pressure changes, the tools change, but the goal is still the same. Help them become independent, help them become responsible, help them become good human beings. And that's the job. Good luck to all the parents out there. We're going to need a lot of coffee or a Celsius, whatever you swing.